Today, I will show you how I made my very own lab monster out of recyclable materials for cheap, yet an original scare. Another hot update, I'm using tin foil for my custom monster for the lab. Using tin foil for the hands, claws. Just wrap it. Make these claws, and now I'm gonna cover it in foam clay, and hopefully it sticks. That'll make it more solid. Alright, for my lab monster hands, we are using this foam clay, white, and then I'll paint it probably a grayish color. I've never worked with this before, hopefully it sticks, but pretty cool. Little update, don't want to speak too soon, but this stuff seems to be amazing. It's sticking well, it molds fine, like you can make anything out of it. It doesn't dry too fast, but so far, pretty good. Foam clay, the way to go for claws. Okay, so another lab monster update. It seems like this foam clay is working well, but one of these is just barely not enough to cover the two hands and claws that I have. But other than that, so far, looking pretty good. Okay, it's been quite a while, but we are back, and the material that I used to make those hands, this foam clay, I'm going to be using to make the head of my monster, lab monster. And what I'm going to do, I don't have a head to, mold this around. So I'm actually just going to cover a pumpkin, half, take that off, do the other half, then use foam to connect those two together. I'm going to do a base layer. It's just going to be flat. Then I'll add on other layers so that we can actually get the details of the face. Hopefully this works. So I'm going to get started. So I'm also going to make feet, and I'll use the gray for the feet. Hopefully there's enough for that again, because I think I'm going to also use the gray for the base layer of the face. That way, after I put the white foam on and I start carving, once I get to the gray, I know that I can't go off any further, basically. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so we got half of the first layer done, and that took up an entire bag, so that's like 500 grams, I believe. Yeah, 500 grams just for a half of the first layer, so that's kind of unfortunate, but need the other half, and then we'll be going over this and putting in some details. It's going to be a pumpkin-shaped head, that's for sure. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, because it will be a while, I'm working on the feet, which I was going to have entirely clay foam, but I don't have enough, so these are the feet. They're going to be covered in clay foam, but this is a box I cut up, and then I'll be attaching it to these, which are the legs. So we'll see how that turns out. Alright, so I finished the skeleton, sort of, for the feet. This isn't what I planned, but hopefully it works. We're going to add on the foam now, clay foam, and hopefully it'll look better. We'll see how it looks in a bit. Alright, now with the foam clay on, the feet are a bit better, maybe. I don't know, but this is how they're looking. I'd like to give them more shape, more form, but I'm actually running out of foam clay again because I still have to do the other half of the head and put in the details. So for now, these are the feet. Alright, this is almost dried. So now I'll be adding the second layer with all the details. Mouth, nose, ears, eyes. And I wanted to have like a drippy kind of appearance because this is like a slimy membrane that is attached to someone's face and deformed it. So I'll be adding that on now. So I've gotten this far and not really liking how it's looking. I conveniently lost my drawing that I had of this guy. So that would be helpful. Also should have drawn it out on here first probably, but yeah, this is what we've got so far. Outline of the eyes and mouth. Alright, so it's looking kind of weird now, but I'd say it's pretty decent. Added in some of the details here, along with the paint that I add. Hopefully it will look sort of liquid, kind of. But I will be painting this black. We got a open wound up there. Got a scar over here. And that's pretty much the front of the head right there, the face. So I'll do some painting and more details, and then I'll be back. Also should mention, when it's thin like this stuff obviously dries a lot quicker. But I think I'll be adding teeth, so I'll be sticking in this. I'll be adding more of the clay foam around here. That means so it can stick like toothpicks in it. Then I have to add ears and obviously the other side of the head, which will be just one layer of this, I think. So that's a bit of an update. All right, and now here he is painted. I think it adds a bit to it, a bit creepier. I also painted the teeth, and I probably will be adding those next. And now this is how he's looking with most of his teeth in. So now here the head is, and I'll be painting the hands next. Alright, so I peeled the face off the pumpkin, and here is the half face right here. Pretty decent. Maybe just use spray foam next time. That might be easier. But yeah, just have to work on the other half now. Also, yeah, toothpicks are showing. Alright, so now I added cups from Italian Ice actually. I just put them on the end of the hand so that can be like the wrist, and then I use clay foam to attach them. I will have to paint that next. I also put a cup down here. I know it's a very small neck, but it's really just to connect the head to the tube in here. Added the ears, and I am going to have to add some support inside here because this really just like isn't too strong, kind of collapses in on itself. So I'll have to add support into here to make sure it does not do that when I attach the head to the rest of the body. After a lot of glue, like hot glue and screws, these still will not stay in place. So we actually just used a lot of tape. Tape these legs to these wooden boards, and we're going to screw that to the base here. And then we'll put these feet, and those will go, feet will go right over these boards to cover them up. And those are the legs, which will be attached to the board and our feet. And now I have fit the hands into a lab coat, which he will be wearing. I put the head on, and you know, it's starting to come together. Also, I didn't film it. I'll show you later, but I made the arms out of just like recyclable containers and used a lot of tape to put those together, but here he is now. Alright, so this is what he is looking like now. A lot more tape than I planned on using. I planned on using like screws and glue, but yeah, that wasn't working too great. So again, just use PVC pipes. These are like mailing tubes. We got like glow sticks in them. Then for the shoulders, we have half milk jugs right here. But yeah, use PVC. This guy, I still have to secure to the board, add on the arms and head, but here he is now. So these are the arms I will be attaching. It is just like recycled plastic containers for all of those. And I have the head on. It is not secured, but there he is. Like that. And I might be using nails or glue around the neck, but he's getting closer to being finished. And as you see, screws and nails worked very well. So I fit the lab coat on and it just completely crushed everything inside here because it's too tight. So yeah, it is not looking good right now. And this is why you need exact measurements when doing stuff like this. It's just too wide up here and it kind of crushed everything. So that is the update for now. So all the proportions off, yeah. Is everything all crushed and messed up inside of here? Also, yes. Can you see through the lab coat? Yup. But he's standing. I got off the ends to the bottles at the end here, and now, while these two poles are really leaning in towards the center, I guess that's fine, because it looks quite a bit better now. The arms are actually not attached to anything. They are just fit into the sleeves, and that's how they look. And here is the head now. I went ahead and stuffed it with some newspaper, a bit of bubble wrap, and then I ended up putting a bunch of spray foam in there. Not sure I would recommend that, but then I put gauze over that. And I am painting the rest of him now. Back here will be bloody. I also got some like Spirit Halloween permanent blood. We'll see how that is. Got green on accident. We'll see how that looks. And these are the colors I mixed to create this pink kind of tone. This is taking longer than it should, so we're almost done though. We'll see how he looks in a bit. Alright, so I've attached the head again, and I have stuffed some kind of just red material in there because you could see the neck before and I did not like the way it looked. But here's how he is looking. That kind of looks like a brain. It wasn't even supposed to be, but that's cool. However, what's not cool is I used some cheap liquid stuff to I just sprayed it on here for blood and it doesn't look good. Luckily, yeah, it's just in the back. But here is this guy completed. Finally, my lab monster.